I danced with the hand sanitizer.
Right.
Got a little bit of this.
A little bit of hand sanitizer. Okay. All right, Luke.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. This is what's really happening. So, Lorelei De Witte.
Yes.
Like that. So I think I take a little pause because I'm like, wait.
Yeah, you're out of breath after that dance-a-thon.
Well, I got to get random too. That's the way. That's the way this goes. Oh. That was a tablet foul. It's not in a bar. That would be unless
you know we're having fun now.
Unless you're in a Irish bar, then you might drop something because maybe tripped on the peanuts. They throw peanuts on the floor and.
Oh yeah, I've been to bars like that. It's
very
cozy. That's a very cozy feeling.
So you're from let's see, the East Bay, and
no.
That would be Marin. No, that.
I live in Marin.
That's not the East Bay?
North Bay.
Oh. Okay, yeah, we went to a picnic out there.
Yeah?
Novato area.
Yeah. Like Stafford Lake or something?
It was the Marin. It was some kind of animal place. Like not quite a shelter, Humane Society place.
Oh, yeah.
And they had all these the guinea pigs around.
Yeah, totally.
You ever went to one of those?
Yeah. Have I had a guinea pig?
Have you been to a picnic?
Yeah.
You have? Wow, those are so awesome. So, oh, yeah, this is what I start out with. This is my intro. How are you feeling today? That's actually the intro.
Let's see. I feel joyful.
All right.
I'm feeling joyful.
So we got in the right zone.
Indeed.
You look like you're also trying to pick something else too.
Well, I was looking to see if there were other words that were similar to joyful. Like hopeful. I saw one that was hopeful because this is really fun to be here.
Oh, yeah,
it's
thanks.
like a novel experience.
When I made this,
talk show.
I kind of wondered why the faces.
The radio.
Like, why is Regretful have a hijab? But I mean, I guess they just. They weren't thinking like because also Calm has a hijab, so it's like they just picked. They just wanted to pick.
They wanted to be diverse. Yeah.
And diverse, but
this is interesting.
Oh, she's what?
She's got like a 3-degree sunburn on her forehead.
So would that be? She's annoyed. So that's not her cheeks. So that would be her nationality, then, because that's not her cheeks.
That's her anger.
Unless she's got a migraine. But that's the same girl, I think, right there. Apologetic.
Yes, indeed, it is.
Indeed. It's amazing. Like, so what I'm thinking to myself is they just picked people and diverse. Mm-hmm. I guess that's what diverse should be. You just pick people, know certain like things they gotta be like. Just like, hey, let's get diverse people. All right, it's diverse.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of times now it's like, all right, but how diverse are they? What? How diverse? Hold on, they might fit this nationality, but what do they have added to that? You know, like right. I feel like they're a little more.
I know what you're talking about.
let's see. I guess I could be all this, but I don't try to be. I may be a little hopeful, but I don't want to stress on it. I kind of have that guy's hair though, the hopeful vibe. I got curly
That's what you're
hair
feeling
right
today? Feeling hopeful?
Actually, I guess I have a lot of inside feelings. I guess that I don't really harness out there I don't really put out there too much. Like, I was a little disappointed in my. I get it's hard to say dad. I was supposed to be on vacation to see him, and we never really had much of a relationship. And then, so I'm like, it takes some initiative for me to go. All right, I'm gonna go out there because I'm a little nervous as it is. Like I said, he left when I was. Well, I never had a relationship. He left when I was 1.
Yeah.
Some a few times in my life, so it's like it is a little nervous going to another state.
No doubt.
To see a guy that you're like,
yeah,
I don't really know you, but that I don't really know you yet. That's the reason why I want to go out there. You pass away. I'm like, I never got a chance to know the guy. But then now I'm at the point where like, who cares? But then it did hit me a little bit because he said so in August. He said I had to send him the screenshot because I'm like, I hate doing this stuff, but you're acting like you're just kind of oblivious here. I'm gonna have to send you the screenshot of. He said in August, he said, "Oh yeah, so book you for the November. What were we in? September. Yeah, September 28th. So yeah, I'll book the flight and send you the times." And then he kept on saying throughout the time, he kept on checking up on me, saying, "Did you take the days off? Did you take the days off?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I kind of have to. I got a real job, And then comes out to almost the week up, and he's saying, did you get the time off?" I'm like, "Bro, is this like some just a chain message you sent out? How you asking me this right now after you sent me a message saying gonna book flights right now, send you the times?" So I'm waiting for times here. And then he says, "Oh yeah, that's right, the 27th to the 1st. I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about, man?" I didn't know, the 28th. And it's like, "Oh."
So he gave you the incorrect information?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, that's gonna be too expensive now." I'm like, "What the hell, man? What like?"
Yeah. Sounds like maybe he's kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like he's trying, but not. He feels the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he feels the same way. Like he's nervous. He wants connection, but he's not completely fully committed.
Well, I mean, the guy's got money though.
That doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, even if he has like money, he might still have emotional conflict around. He probably maybe has some shame or something.
See, I guess I wouldn't know because those people that were raised in wealth I guess it's just a totally different lifestyle to me, which is weird because it's like, wait, that would be my lifestyle if he didn't leave.
Sure, possibly.
I guess not. I guess not having a father in my life kind of gave me that feel because he left early enough to where it didn't really hurt. Like these people that go on the talk shows and say, they get all upset saying, where were you all my life, and get all pissed off at him. I just, it did hit me this time because it's like, dude, what happened to booking flights and telling about times?
Yeah.
It's like, darn it, you did kind of get me.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it sounds a little bit disappointing, huh?
Yeah, but, I needed to relax from work, so... it's kind of nice to relax for a week. I did end up going to work when they called me in one time this week, but it was kind of nice to get a break from work.
No doubt.
Went to a lot of shows, but it's like, even though I'm having fun, it's like, dang, can't believe that guy pulled one over. So this is the thing. Also, in the meantime, he's like telling me, I also feel like he wasn't satisfied with not having enough time. He kept saying, "Oh well, I'd really like you can't get a week or 2 weeks." I'm like, dude, 4 days is good, and like that's a long time to be with someone. in another state, isn't it?
Sure, yeah.
And my thing is also, what's the greediness for more time? Like, if I'm giving you a little bit of time, or 4 days is great.
Maybe he has a lot of sorrow.
Well, maybe he should explain that. And maybe he should. So, my thinking was, like, can't we make up for every minute and just as much time as we can within that time? Like, what? So we
like
need to stretch it out.
Start with something, huh?
Yeah, we need to stretch it out because you're not very good at like making time worthwhile or something. Then that sounds like I'm even more bored. But you think he could feel sorrow?
Absolutely. He probably feels sorrow and shame.
I really don't.
Sure
I really don't feel or see that much of that. But you think?
Yeah. Well, I think he does.
You know. Well, I mean, I'm all up for other thoughts. Yeah. So I did take the initiative to see him one other time a while back. It was Thanksgiving week, and he did. There was a tear. A tear came down. I don't know if it was forced though. It's something about love you, son, and all that. But I don't. You think? So you think he could have? I see him as a very.
I think absolutely he certainly could. It's very difficult for people to be vulnerable when they have a lot of layers of shame, and we all know that it's very typical that men especially are programmed to not be able to be really deeply emotional, especially a generation, his generation. But also I think the most important thing is being able to meet him where he's at, So in other words, like allowing him to be who he is. If there is a genuine interest in
your world, like.
Yeah, I just think if he wants to connect, like, just try to stay open-hearted and allow him to.
Gosh, the last thing he said was, well, maybe we should make it Thanksgiving week so you could get more time off. And then I think that's what struck me too, because it's like, because it's like, dude, you're really saying. So there was time off I had, but you just want me to just switch the game all of a sudden. Like, dude, you left me. You left when I was 1, so I could have done better in life, but you don't know that. You could probably think maybe I'm the worst in life because there was no guidance, and yeah, I'm my thoughts are like I'm just glad I'm not. My thoughts are about life are just I'm just glad I'm blessed to not be dead or in prison. But I mean I'm just I'm just a customer service worker. So like, bro, you really think I could just flip the script and plus a lot of people out here aren't blessed to have like the best
Do you mean
jobs.
Is it that it would have been nice if he could like pay for the time that you have to take off work and stuff because he's not understanding the burden it is to get that time?
There are people that would say, yeah, but that would make me feel weird. It's more like the not understanding period. Because I'm not going to do it because it's like I don't feel like I'm in a place now because in my situation now I got to get coworkers to align with my days.
Got it. Yeah, it's like a lot of coordination to make
like,
that work.
Bro, you're not really understanding that I'm here, taking first one time off, and now you want me to take you just expect I could flip it and make another week off? Just like,
everybody has to ask for what they want, and then you just get to respond and say that doesn't work for me, but here's what does work for me.
And then you got to expect that I'm going to get paid for this other week off. Like,
maybe he could pay for it.
Yeah.
You say he has money and he wants to see you. Say, yeah, I'll come, but can you help me?
That would be so weird. But
I know it's hard to take
especially
off time for vacation.
Well, especially if you made coming down on the 28th too expensive sounding. So.
No doubt, yeah.
I mean, it's just totally different lifestyle vibe too. But it is weird because we talk about. I do believe a lot of times you need a father and mother in the household, but it's kind of weird that is this like masculinity that we're talking about, which I guess is toxic in a way? It's weird that it does come from both parent households, doesn't it?
Sure.
I mean,
most definitely. I guess it just depends on the individual.
I've
known some people who had fathers who didn't really exhibit like any toxic masculinity. But
that's a weird word, though. Toxic masculinity. Mm-hmm. A lot of these words people throw out there like that do exist, but some people throw them out a little too much.
Sure. Like narcissism. People use that one a lot. Oh, this person's narcissistic,
Yeah, it sounds like
fling it around a lot.
We're saying people just like to fling stuff out to deter whatever you're about to say next, right? Or some people could say words that just make it so it's a strong word, so other people don't want to deal with that person anymore.
Right. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Boy, I've had that.
I think I've been guilty of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's coming out now. What?
Yeah.
What other things are you guilty of?
Well, I just think that's a really interesting topic. The dynamics in communication, like the sort of unconscious dynamics that people have in communication, where I notice that I can talk over people a lot. And I think that it's something I learned from my father, because he used to do that a lot. And so I was really looking at that and thinking, what is that really about? Is it dominating somebody? Well, it's just I think that really it's like when someone can't just be like really seated in themselves, and they want to, they don't want to sit and just be present with what is. And so they speed the conversation up, and they interject and dominate and kind of run over the other person energetically. And that's something I've had to work on in myself, because I get excited, but it's like getting really excited is also a way of not just being content, being really present, right? Because what am I racing to? And why do I think that I need to just vomit everything out of my mouth right now?
The racing to part, yeah.
It's easy to get excited and to just want to talk really fast and share tons and tons of information. But
I get that.
I think the quality of connection can be just as lovely if we can just slow down and not think that we're missing out on something by not sharing everything. Like what I'm referring to about dominating in communication is that how they say, when you're listening to someone else speaking, are you listening so that you can actually interact and really thoughtfully pay attention to what you're saying? Or am I just really eager to just say what I want to say next, right? So I guess I'm just getting to learning how to be more connected with people and be more present by not racing to hear myself speak.
If I feel like there's enough time, usually I have been in situations where I feel like we outside of here, like we need to wrap things up when I'm talking to people. So I guess I've gotten that where people talk and they're excited. But I guess the thing is, I've thought to myself, well, I kind of want to hear what the person has. The person has some interesting stuff to say. So I guess I figure I can wait. But at times I do have stuff to say, and I'm like hopefully it circles back.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am really interested, and I'm glad the person keeps on talking, because now they must be happy, and I can hear everything they have to say.
Yeah.
But I can see people get annoyed by that too, because I guess they want to talk too.
When
they
someone
want to
else is like long-winded and they have a lot to share. Yeah.
I wonder what it is with the other person that gets annoyed by it, though. Is like
I think
they don't have situations like this where they talk very often, maybe.
Or it's that I think in a conversation, if one person has been talking at length, what happens is that the other person will have a lot of ideas and thoughts that they want to share, but there's no opportunity to share it as the conversation is, as the other person is presenting all of these interesting ideas, and you want to be able to interject and say, oh yes, that I like, you want it to still be interactive, right? But it can't really be interactive while they're like on the soapbox still.
I get it.
And so then they get this is what happens for me. I get impatient because I'm so pumped up, right? Well, but then I just have to say, just chill out.
I do just hate it when I do have something to say. I love waiting for the person to talk.
Yeah.
But then I've had times when they're done. It's like, damn, I forgot it now.
Right.
And so that, I guess that could be annoying. Like, dang, I had some.
Right, you need a pen and paper and keep notes of when other people are talking, what are the ideas that you want to share once they're done.
And I don't really do that anymore because I don't have a little notepad. But I used to do that when I had a little notepad. And I have a big one, so it'd be too obvious that now I'm taking notes, waiting for them to stop talking. Wouldn't that be funny though? Like you're waiting for them to stop talking, like, and you start writing notes, so you remember. Mm-hmm. But that part could be annoying. But some people, I don't know how friendships work as adults. I don't. You know, I like I was saying recently. I think most of my friends that I consider really good friends.
Yeah.
I don't even have to talk to them really, even for a year. Like it's just all about someone's character, I guess, that makes them feel like a good friend to me. Mm-hmm. They'll always have. It's either something good to say, or it's like if it's not, it's they actually care. Mm-hmm. You know, and they, you know, we're there for each other, and to where it's like, oh, this person has good character and values. They wouldn't say anything like. They wouldn't need to say something other people about me.
Right. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. People who are just like kind-hearted. I mean,
I found that the worst people are the ones that actually call you. They overly call you a friend.
Like you mean they're contacting you too much?
Not like you're my homie. Yeah, that's my homie right there. Like,
you don't like that?
Well, because then it's like something is not right. Then you find out they're just overly saying that.
They're not that devotional as a friend.
No.
Right.
No. Not really that cool. Yeah, so I was gonna have there was gonna be other guests in the studio. Critter couldn't make it, but I was gonna reminisce on. I'm gonna have her here because this is like I've been doing this for a while. So come here, I get the video, and so it's like a reminisce show. Last time she was here, I had that Marjorie Taylor Greene on the show.
Oh.
It's like, holy smokes, like she has been in the media a lot since. First thing, it was like introducing her into the promoting, and then now she's getting a divorce and all that, and it's amazing. I got a platform here, and then
this is great.
And then then I was gonna have a comedian Alvin Duke come through, and he got a little smashed and didn't drink and drive. He just, I don't know. His car got towed. No, see that's what happens.
That sucks.
No, that's what happens. Actually, he didn't drink and drive, so his car got towed. Isn't that? So I don't know. It might be a blessing. I've had times where I would know I'm gonna drink, so I have my car parked a little bit of ways. Mm-hmm. And then
so you can walk to it and get sober by the time you're there.
Yeah.
You mean like 2
but
miles
sometimes
away?
you forget. You might forget, or there's also it's been notorious on the news lately. Someone's been slashing car tires.
Oh God!
And maybe that could help for someone that's maybe drunk.
Yeah, it could save many people's lives.
Honestly, a drunk person will probably drive on just hubcaps.
Yes.
And
there's that.
That way they would get arrested. Gosh, in my 20s, I was dumb. I used to drive in the carpool lane all the way home. So as much as I did get a DUI in it was 2002, as much as I did get, or something like as much as I did, I guess I'm still blessed that couldn't like how I was driving in the carpool lane all the way home at times. It's.
Yeah, you mean the one where you have to have two people.
Yeah, so I could have gotten. I should have gotten pulled over.
I
a
know.
lot.
I've done that a few times. I thought about getting like a blow-up doll.
Wait, carpool? No. Okay, I'm talking about the hazard side. She's showing you something.
No, I can't extend your car parking.
Oh, can someone go out there or something?
Move it.
Oh, right.
Hold on,
It's okay.
What's the
The car parking.
Uh-oh. How was your parking here?
Well, I parked in a garage, and it's just a block from here. And then I noticed on Mission, there's so many garages, like right just around the corner. I just parked in a garage. I thought that'd be safest, because I saw some kind of fun, wild spots, like really wild spots.
Where people are doing heroin for blowjobs.
Like that. Yeah, and I have a car that fits that setting, kind of like it's like a little crazy little gangster car. And
what you got, an Impala?
Oh, it's just my friends let me borrow a little. It's like a little flat black Honda Civic, but it's like a little fast little. It just looks like a cool, sexy little car,
Sexy, huh? We got to see this car.
It's all beat up, but I like it.
Sounds like a classic, though. And you park down. Okay, Mission.
It's in the garage.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right over here. Okay.
Yeah.
So we gotta check that out.
Yeah, I mean, I have, I can appreciate maybe things that other people don't.
No, I do. A lot of times, I appreciate.
It has like those little tiny tires. Those little tires that look like
spare tire.
rims and no.
What?
No, like the sexy tires, like the gangster tires, like the little flat little ones, where it's like just a little bit of rubber, so like you're really on the road. So when you're driving fast,
we got to check
it feels
this out.
like you're in a race car.
What?
It's really amazing.
Is your car lowered?
It's very low. It's low.
Okay, I think I know what
cool.
you're talking about.
Yeah. Someone ripped the stereo out of it. It's like it's
so
a stick shift. It's like old school.
Yeah. So they were like, we can't drive this out of here, but so we're gonna just rip off the stereo. I had a Honda Accord that always got stolen.
Oh yeah.
So I would end up in jail a lot, and then it would also get stolen a lot. So it was like I wanted to get rid of one of the parts. Actually, two things. So I got a newer car.
Yeah.
So that conquered both issues.
Right on.
Because people didn't really steal it, and also I didn't get pulled over really much anymore.
Yeah, mine could draw attention because it looks, it looks like a little too much fun.
We got to.
Yeah.
We got to see this car. That's wow. We got to see this car.
I mean, it's a very simple, plain little car.
Well, I guess.
Your hair is very beautiful.
I gotta move the car there.
It's like a beautiful rainbow sherbet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought you just pay and it's all good. Well,
They won't let us stay in that spot.
that is weird. Yeah.
What is it? It's like a parking issue.
Yeah, I last time it was cool, but then maybe last time they just ignored it. I don't know. Yeah, so then I was gonna have a guy he's gonna perform on the or something like this on the show, and
he plays the clarinet.
Yeah, and he's still tripping over the COVID.
Oh.
How do you feel about that whole thing?
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, it's not fun when you have it. And
Yeah, so it exists.
Yeah, I've had it 3 times.
All right.
Yeah. And it was gnarly. I mean, what to say? There's so much to say about it. I mean, clearly, a lot of people have, really suffered tremendously. I know a couple of people who got it, and they have, permanent lung issues now.
Permanent, wow.
But I think the way that obviously the distancing and the separation, and the way that it's crashed businesses and families, and I mean it was like we already had a mental health crisis, and then it just took it all to like
it's not
it's just insane.
Not the right way.
No. I mean, that's what, for example, with the stuff that I teach people, it's really about having a practicing regenerative health practices, right? So like, where's
and mentally, because I think we were talking about before you got here that the COVID it's like a lot of things just became a political thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's like that's where even at times when I may swing a certain way, it's like, where's the middle ground? Because even both sides annoying me here. Because like
it's insane. It's so severe, insanely severe. Like the way they're.
I feel like maybe during COVID, everyone wanted to join some certain club. That's why it became more, political. Because it's like, it exists. Okay, so that defeats the side that says it doesn't exist. But then how about, no, I don't think you should just live in fear with masks and, constantly getting your rapid test before you do something, or having everyone you're going to go see do a test. Like, that's just being a little too scary, right? Like, because fear can also kill you. Right?
Oh, my God.
Killed my guinea pigs.
I think it's just been extremely depressing for everybody to be separated from all of the communities. Like my gospel choir just started singing again, and I saw people I haven't seen in 2.5 years. And then my samba, I danced samba in that community. All of these connections and communities that we are critical and fundamental to our human health. Just absolutely fundamental.
So you're big into the gospel.
I like to sing.
And red's your favorite color, right?
I do love red. It is, yeah.
So you're just in the choir, or you just?
Well, I'd like to do work, like solo work, but I'm currently overcoming my anxiety of
I got that from this church all weekend. I got this from this church.
The Catholic Connections.
They had this cool festival, and it's like, you know about these Eucharist?
Well, I grew up Catholic, but I don't feel like we were really required to really study the Catholic literature much. We just did the Hail Mary, the Our Father, the Rosary. We did that, and then we ate the host and drank the wine, and we.
Now you don't have to take a class to give the communion; just take it. So times are changing. That's good. And I got a chance to dunk the father. They call him a father. Yeah. Because we were talking about my father in the beginning of the show, so I was really irritated, but not as. He seemed like a great guy. He's just like the word father. I just want just dunk him.
Dunk him? You mean
dunk him like he was in a dunk tank. You throw the balls
tanks.
And he gets dunked.
Yeah.
And it was great because it's great to the father, and if you never had that father, you could take out your irritation on just dunking the father and go, I got that guy in your picture in your own father.
That works. Yeah.
And it was. Yeah, good times.
What was that at?
It was called the St. Pius.
St. Pius.
They had quite a festival.
Oh, it was a festival.
The
Catholics love the festivals.
Margaritas. I was like, I never drank out of church before.
Did they have rides and like a Ferris wheel?
Yeah. Ferris wheel.
That sounds really fun.
Fun. I should have invited you. I don't know. I figure once we do the show, then I invite people, but
that's cool.
That should be a good idea before shows.
My parents go to a lot
of
Catholic festivals in Ohio. They're always telling me about these Catholic festivals.
Catholics get pretty turned up. They call it. So, Paul's writing something, which so I did go to his comedy show, and then the things that came to mind was the Hulk fisting. The guy was talking about like, well, that was about his kid was, and the Hulk fisting.
Oh right. Yeah.
But he was talking about how it was. He had. That doesn't sound right, because he was actually talking about fisting.
Right.
And that is weird. I mean, fisting is just. Ooh, and I guess we're getting on.
I don't know a lot about it. I mean, I've heard about. The only thing I think about when you say fisting is like, it makes me think of like prison and like women in prison.
Yes. So.
And like that's the only reference I've ever heard to, except maybe in some like female porn, right? I'm sure they do that there, but I've never seen it.
So part of what you do is it involves sexuality in a way. Right?
Well, I think that being a vitality coach involves helping people embrace really being present in their bodies and being able to be. I'm really into dancing. And I love dancing because I think it really puts us into touch with being in our sensual body. Like I'm a samba dancer, and now I'm moving more into freestyle dancing. And I think that the more we can get into our bodies and move and undulate, it's like it takes us out of all these stories about, there's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of unnatural like shame perpetuated on the body around body sexuality, sensuality.
Well, okay.
So I mean I think being healthy in your sensuality and sexuality is really it's really critical and imperative to
body positive is important. So there was two things. I don't know. I think to Lizzo like body positive. Yeah, she's big and it's. I know a lot of people that were like, yeah, she's big, so what? People shouldn't be talking about that. But then it's like, but when she starts like showing us her pooping, then it's like,
oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so it's like,
isn't she a famous singer?
Yeah, no. So she's got talent,
is
she
on Instagram? She's doing. Where is she showing that?
It was taken down, but yeah, it was on the Instagram. And
wait, was it that one where the woman was like pole dancing outside and she accidentally like sharts her pants, but it kind of like goes outside of her pants onto the concrete?
Yeah, she was dancing.
I don't think that was
it was like
her.
A twerking thing, but then yeah. So I mean,
people are.
But yeah, but so body positive. Well, yeah. But sometimes I'm like body positive, great, but also as long as you're thinking about your health, then yeah, nothing's wrong with that. But also like when we talk about the fisting, and we talk about like. When guys do the fist, it's like,
oh yeah, that's a
how
guy.
The hell?
I
just realized.
Maybe it's like fisting is like this.
Okay,
it's
so
not like
it is your entire
right.
fist. So which is why it's weird because I thought it was the up in the butt. So I was like, that's what turned me off. But
really
then I heard
dangerous.
it's actually
what is it?
Fisting in the women's vagina, like an entire arm, and I'm like. Yeah, well, how is that pleasurable? Is that just a guy trying to just like damage a woman?
Right.
That does not seem like it's meant to pleasure the person.
Right.
Unless the person's a porn star.
Right.
Then it's like, yeah, I want to make sure she gets all her money's worth. But like, if you're a real person just trying to get that, like, you're in a situation,
right, where it's like
dating or relation, maybe if it's not fed, if it's someone you're trying to pleasure, what the hell?
Right, you're wondering, is it sadistic or are there people who actually? There's probably people who do genuinely achieve that sexual experience and it's pleasurable where they take the time, because the vagina can't really open up like that unless they take the time to get the vagina
I don't see, the crazy thing is like it does seem a little sadistic because it's like that's not even pleasuring the guy, I don't think, unless you just
it's like they're getting off on hurting people.
That is just,
it's kind of sick. It's pretty sick.
It is kind of,
I'm not into that.
So
but I mean I know there's a lot of BDSM where people are that's a fascinating world where people think it can be really healing for people to practice the what's the threshold of like pain pleasure?
I'd rather give it to the ladies. Yeah, I mean, wait, I don't mean give it to the ladies like I'd rather give. I'm a fifth. I mean like dominance and all that. Dudes just I feel like we I don't know, or opinion based. I just get a little dumb, and we just get excited for the weirdest reason, and then we regret it. I invited a friend over one time, because man, hey, she's up for another extra. Well, then that's when I realized threesomes weren't cool.
Sure.
Getting too close to the guy, but he came over like he found a whip and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna whip you. But then when she grabbed it, he was like, help. It's like, what is it with guys? We just love that. We love that macho, but it's like, why? Just chill out, bro, and let's.
Testosterone.
I mean,
testosterone.
I mean, guys, testosterone, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm comfortable with what
But it's also, I think, just programming. That would be maybe some toxic masculinity.
I say I'm comfortable with what I am, but a lot of times I feel like, see, like what I did right now. A lot of times I feel like. And then my hands go out like this, like, is it time to present something? What's going on? Like, I feel like my body doesn't move how I want it to be. Like, if I say so, hey, check that out over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I finally point to it. Like, I feel like my body doesn't seem to move on sync.
Like there's a delay.
Yeah.
Well, then I suggest that you start dancing. So you can change that neuropatterning, you know what I mean?
I'm into it now. Yeah.
Have you heard of Jardy Santiago? He's this great dancer he was based in San Francisco for a while, and I started watching his house dancing tutorials on YouTube, and he's got these great classes that are like free online. He's got a 5-minute warm-up. I think you should try it.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm into, like, I move now. It's weird. Like, I've been telling people lately in my 20s, I would just want to get the hammered and
get the hammered.
But at the same time of wanting to get the hammered, I would really like here. I'm like, a couple drinks, I'm good. But back in the day, I have to get the hammered, and I would love to go out. Like I could party 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And still work 2 jobs.
What are you, Sicilian?
No, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
I used to be like that in my 20s, but at the same time, with all that energy and loving to go out, I would still either be up against the wall, or I'd be like, all right, I've had enough drinks. Hey, now I'm ready to dance with the ladies. And so it's like, I can't do nothing until I'm stupid, I guess, in my 20s. But now I don't even need to drink anything to just get stupid and be like,
expressed.
Hey, yeah, it's weird.
Yourself.
Like, I'm a lot older than my 20s now, and yet I just feel it. Like I don't care. I think it's back then it was like I gotta be cool. So I gotta get rid of that I'm too cool thing in order to get out there and dance. So weird.
Yeah, it's like we don't have a sense of any sovereignty when we're that young. It's like we think that everything outside of us is connected to us and means something to us, and so we're seeking that approval.
That's
but then it's like stealing from us at the same time, because we feel like we can't really achieve any sense of satisfaction unless we feel like we look good in the eyes of everything out there. Instead of when we're older, it's just like we just feel good in here, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, isn't it so weird though? There's people still in that box, and that are our ages. And
no doubt.
The weirdest thing is, they will go places where you could be dancing and sit down the whole time, and they will be like, look at those boomers over there. And I don't think they realize they're our ages and up. I mean, the same age as the people that are calling them boomers.
Yeah.
It's just because they're dancing and all, they seem old. But to me, they're having fun.
Oh, that's
yes.
all I care about. Yeah, it's just
why would you be there if you're not going to have fun? If you're not dancing to the person's music, maybe the person kind of isn't maybe mixing the songs right, because you're like, I want to dance, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know about this song. Maybe the person's not mixing the songs right, or maybe they're not that great.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we went to Iron Maiden recently.
No, I saw that concert advertised.
Dang, you should have been there.
Where was it?
Concord Pavilion.
How was it?
It was great. Iron Maiden is great.
I know why I saw it. I saw it because I saw it on your Facebook page.
What? So I did a good job.
Put some clips up.
I did a good job posting it.
Yeah, it was really great.
I knew so many people that were there, and yet I didn't see one of them.
Really?
That's how amazing the concert was.
Wow.
Because they were all posting. I'm like, what? I'm like, rows below you here. Wow.
Did you wear that outfit?
No, because it wasn't October yet. And I don't believe in dressing up before the month, but I do. I do like to decorate before the month, but the neighbors and the person I pay rent to didn't like that. Because I would put Michael Myers on the windowsill and like put some blood there, and I guess it freaked sissies out. I don't want to discriminate upon sissies here, because that's a thing for some people, you know. But you know what? Yeah, do it because honestly, we could discriminate a little bit because let people live their life. Mm-hmm. Everyone should be able to live their life. But yeah, I wanted to go so bad. Well, actually, I wasn't just me. So yeah, it was like, dang, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Well, did you have tickets in advance?
Yeah. But my car was overheating.
Oh,
transmission was overheating. I'm like, yes, this is living on the edge right here. We're gonna get there.
Heavy metal.
I mean, you know, I get a little nervous because, you know, not having a dad in life, it does make me think about wanting to fix things on my own. So I hate being stranded because because all I'm gonna think to myself is, how can I fix this, instead of going, all right, yeah, I'm giving up.
Yeah, that's the worst with cars, when you're getting stranded. I feel that, yeah.
But you know, my car has like I think when I bought it, it has a bad transmission. It's like one of those recall transmissions.
Oh yeah, I had one of those.
So even though I got a new, there was a new one put in there before I got it. It still is recalled forever.
Is it a Ford?
Yeah.
I had a Ford Fiesta, and it was a lemon, and I had to hire a lawyer and get it was. The transmission was off.
I know that car. Yeah.
It's a cute little car, but
it
was really, the transmission was really jerky, like it would just jerk while I was driving. Like you need.
And that doesn't mean, the crazy thing is, that doesn't mean something's wrong with it. That's the craziest thing.
But they did have a lot of class action lawsuit on that, and the Ford Focus and the Fiesta. But I still like the car. I was bummed. I didn't want to return it.
I mean, well, see, the problem is if you don't know about cars, any little thing is gonna freak you out. I was telling Dana that, she doesn't like to be involved. Well, no, I was just telling Dana. She doesn't like to be seen, but involved is cool. So I was saying when we were on the way up there, I was like, yeah, my stepdad knew a lot about cars, but so when you know about things, you don't trip out when things are crazy. Because I remember we were going on the bridge to Pick and Pull one time, and the whole thing was shaking. The moment we got on the bridge, and I had a drink, so it's spilling all over myself. I think something's wrong with the car here. He said, no, it's fine. No, it's good. And it's like, okay. And it's still the whole ride there, just... I'm just trying to save the drops that keep on spilling. Yeah. Yeah, but
I've been learning
it's weird.
About how to fix vehicles, and I'm from Ohio, so you know, in Ohio that's a thing. That's a cultural thing. You know that a lot of men and even a lot of women know how to fix things on their vehicle.
And did you go to Catholic churches out there too?
Well, I didn't move to Ohio until I was 17, so at that point I was already out of my parents' house, so I wasn't forced.
Couldn't have been too long ago.
Catholic
Okay.
Church anymore. But
yeah, well, they had some great concerts, and they had this thing where if you throw a potato at the salami on a string, you win the salami. And
throw a potato at the salami.
And so one reason I really wanted to go Sunday was because I had this book, but so I actually the kid that I gave my salami to actually took my book too. So I mean, so I had to come back a second day, hoping they had more books I could get for free. Because it is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something valuable in there. You know, some valuable, virtuous.
They had a lot of creative literature. Games.
Yeah, I like the games at the festivals is really cute. I like the cakewalk, you know, like those old-fashioned games. Like, we need to have more old-fashioned experiences like we used to.
Like Spin the Altar Boy.
What is that?
Oh, it's where they, so they have like a secret room, and there's a bunch of altar boys, and they pick a certain altar boy, and you go behind the curtain, and you spin the altar boy. They got to put like an apple in his mouth, and you spin. Because they keep on talking. They keep saying help and mom, dad, whatever, and they spin, and they have to hit a certain number that you throw the potato on.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I did not play that game.
No. All right.
I kept getting.
I've not seen that
so
one.
I went through this thing, the Eucharist room with the miracles and all that. And I put on the sticker.
Yeah.
And people kept asking me if I was a teenager after that, because it's a. I mean, the weird thing is, so it's because I looked, I was like, you got the sticker, and I looked at it, and it's sponsored by the Teen Club. I was like, oh, that's why people keep asking me. But at the same time, I'm like, wait, why? Why would you think to ask a teen? Because they say, are you a teen? Like, why would people think to ask? Is this something you would ask a teen? Like, are you a teen? It just sounds, it did sound creepy. Like, are you a teen? Well, what if I am, old man? Like, what next? Should I just say yes and see what's behind door number 1 or 2 or your van? I mean, you could get me with some pizza and guinea pigs. Just open the door. Oh. So, wow. And the miracle is you didn't get molested behind the curtain.
Who, myself?
Curtain number 1 or 2. Well, we're playing the game of.
Right. Yeah.
So, there's the altar boy game, and then there's the other miracle, and the other curtain, where that's where the other boys are going. And then when you make it all the way through, it's like, hey, I didn't get molested. But yeah, anyway, Jeffrey Dahmer. Isn't it so? So, well, I actually did write to talk about this. How, yeah. Oh, rest in peace, Coolio. Rest in peace, Coolio. You know Coolio?
Coolio
Rest
died.
in peace.
Like the musician.
He's dead. Paul Broombaugh did not know.
He's been dead to me for a long time.
He owes you money, huh?
I'm not really.
He seemed like a good guy. I went to his concert.
Like, what was one of his hits?
Fantastic Voyage is one people like.
That's an amazing song.
But I like See You When You Get There. Gangsta's Paradise is real good too. I like that.
Those
And
are
Mama,
amazing.
I'm in love with a gangster.
Oh, those are some hot ones.
So I don't know where it was. Oh, but I did write about that Dahmer. You been watching that show?
No, I don't want to watch it.
It is.
I have too many other important things, but I do love to indulge in a good series. I did the Wild Wild Country, and when a girl with the dragon tattoo, that was
that was
old,
good.
But that was hardcore, and I loved it. But I haven't been into the Dahmer.
So I mean, it's just weird that it's coming back, and I know. So people say, "Why is this coming back right now?" Because it's forever ago, and there were other documentaries and all that stuff. I get it so I get that part, but I also get that people are curious about serial killers.
Sure.
why do you think they're bringing all this stuff back? Like, I mean, so you see what this led into. Now we got to go into, well, not us. I'm saying now they're getting into John Wayne Gacy again. You know, it's like, I'm good off that guy. Oof.
I mean,
jeez.
If I was, I am a neophyte astrologer, so if I were paying more attention right now to the astro weather, I would probably tie it in with some kind of astrological thing, you know. I think all of that really is always just us looking at the unconscious and wanting to understand ourselves more deeply and like what our capacities are. Like there's this spectrum that people are capable of, you know, of great evil, of all of these horrific acts. And a lot of it is just so incredibly mysterious, and at the same time magnetic and captivating somehow. And it's like repulsive, but it's repulsive and magnetic at the same time, right? Why is that? Well, I mean, it's like, what is it that allows people to be capable of those types of things, you know? I mean, that's a whole nother...
So I'm not grossed out about it, and I really don't understand. Maybe people really taking it in.
Yeah.
But when people say they're so grossed out, and unless they're... The way they're explaining it is as scenes from the show, and I'm like, there was actually a lot where they didn't try to gross people out. I mean, it's not really that... It's not really that... I found there were things I didn't know. I was like, wow. So they didn't really go in deep. Like, you could hear sounds like, ugh.
Right, like it was more like clinical, the way they were describing it.
You didn't really... You see how sick he got when he first started with a pig in school. Where, like, you had kids saying, I'm vegetarian, I don't believe in this. And the teacher was still like, no, you must open up the pig. And it's like, I'm thinking, why the hell is there a pig in school? They're opening up. What happened to frogs?
Yeah.
Not cool. But like, I mean, that's pretty much the gross part. It's like, I didn't really, like, he was creepy. I didn't, like, it was kind of creepy how they kind of, he made him out to seem like where you're like, okay, now I'm reminded he's a bad guy again. Because, like, there were times where it's like, wait.
Maybe he was really sensitive and, like, on the spectrum and, like...
He does.
I mean, he clearly had, you know...
That's the thing. He did seem on the spectrum.
Was there trauma in his life when he was young? Or was it more like the chemistry?
You know what? So he seemed really privileged to me. And,
interesting.
But, like, honestly, and, you know, that's why I don't discredit a lot of people. Because, like, even though he seemed privileged, like... You can still be guided wrong. Because people that are raised privileged, like, this is what they know. So they don't know anything different. Like me, I was raised in, I can't even call it a struggle because it was just my life.
Sure.
That people would say, oh man, you had it rough. I'm like, no, well, that's just what I was raised into.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I guess when privileged people get their lives a little shaken up, they take things a lot harder, and they also can be guided the wrong way. Like his dad didn't realize he actually kind of got him into loving to open things up and dissect. Not just dissect animals, but really just go into a little too many details to where Dahmer just was like, ooh, I love this. Let me try it on people.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. The show didn't get too gross. I mean, I watched the whole thing without going, like actual storyline. Instead of, like, if I'm watching an actual horror movie, I want to see that gore. I didn't take this as, like, it was a serial killer documentary sort of thing to me.
Yeah.
Now, John Wayne Gacy, I'm cool off that.
I don't really
that guy looks a little crazy. But
he was crazy. Yeah.
A lot of white people. It's a bad month for white people. So we got Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy. We got Freddy Krueger, a burnt up white guy. Michael Myers, white guy. Hellraiser, well, white woman. So too bad for that. That sucks. But I guess the Pinhead's a white guy. Gosh, who? The clown, Pennywise, white. Jeez, really white? I think white. Gosh, it's a bad. But you know, Zodiac killer, white guy. Gosh, whew.
Yeah.
Whew, nice.
That's interesting, huh?
Bad month for.
Very interesting.
Candyman's black, okay, but you know, but you know. They didn't even give Candyman that much props. That sucks, you know, cause like the first time around, I'm like, yes, black, you know, empowerment, you know, and then I'm like, Then the sequel, not a remake or something, a remake or sequel, whatever it was that Jordan Peele did, it was like, jeez, this is so artsy fartsy and not really what I'm going for here. This is a bummer. And so they need to, what's coming out? Pearl, White, but women's empowerment, women's empowerment there. So, and Michael Myers again, jeez, and Chucky, white little kid. Saw, Jigsaw, white guy on a bike.
Bride of Chucky.
White again. But you can't hate on the ladies. So it's hard for me because women had it, when they say who has it tough in society, we think about the races, but then when we think about women couldn't vote till later in life, and so pretty much got knocked down in society. So, and when I saw Bride of Chucky, like, remember Redmond's intestines? You seen that, right? Who cut? Okay. But, and then who was the actress? Okay, but that was more empowerment, because that's like, they brought an actual, it was from that Northern Exposure show. But they brought an actual, like...
What was the name of the show?
You're talking about we're talking about Bride of Chucky, but also I think it was Northern Exposure. So you do herbal medicines.
I do use herbs. I make herbal extracts. But really, I've called myself a vitality coach, and I have a lot of different tools that I use to work with people. But I would say that largely I really start with the diet, like. Oh. But there's like what we're eating, but then there's also like the mental diet, like how are we monitoring our thoughts?
Yeah.
Like what we're feeding. So.
Yeah, sort of like the stuff we're talking about.
Yeah. Right. So I tend to avoid a lot of. I did like the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That was a really hot series.
Yeah. I'm a man, so I might not. I still have my tendencies. I might. That's why I call myself an ally, or like a feminist. But I do like being an ally to women, because I got my flaws. But I do love seeing women empowerment like that. And I Spit on Your Grave. You seen that one?
No.
It's where the woman, guys did her wrong, and then she goes and seeks revenge. There's actually 3 of them, but you got to see the first one.
Is it really good?
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
No, she said no.
Well, it's so. Yeah. The guys. Yeah, they take advantage of the woman.
Right.
So usually
it's always hard to see that.
That's hard to watch, because you know what I'm saying. They raped her, and it's hard for me to watch those. A lot of times, that's why. This was still great, because that's what I was like. I'm about to turn this off right now. This is horrible. Mm-hmm. This is horrible. I'm having feelings.
Right, because it's like watching it is like a perpetuation of that energy.
Then when you see that empowerment, though, to where
when the person revenges.
Because she actually goes through trauma classes. And then she seeks revenge, and it's just so. My thing was like, I'm like, where's this movie gonna go? Ugh. And then when you see her seek revenge, it's like I just felt like, yes, I want more of this.
Right.
Get those guys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, call me. I want to help you.
Yeah.
Because she seemed very skilled at getting away with it. Mm-hmm. And I will help, but still don't want to get caught.
Yeah, well, that's why I like the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, because she's able to.
So did you like all of them, or just the one?
Do I like?
Oh, no, you said like series. She does get revenge.
I'm talking about the Swedish one, not the American one. That one was horribly.
The one where she had
the one with Noomi Rapace, the small.
Yeah,
dark,
she's in
small, dark, powerful.
And she had the certain lips. Yeah. So is this who you seen Bride of Chucky? Look at that's his.
What in the world?
See, that's Chucky's wife. Well, that's his wife, but she also turns into a doll.
No, really.
So talk about empowerment. Like, so the series, the TV. See, this is where things become a little twisted, right? Okay. It's weird. So the TV
she
series
turns into a little doll.
The TV series, he ends up being, if you see the last one, is really twisted because it's actually both of them, and they get real jealous. The TV, see, Hollywood is a trip because the TV series is real different. So in the TV series, he has a boy that finds Chuck, he buys the Chucky doll, and then there becomes a bunch of Chuckies, but next thing you know, the boy actually is gay. And he has a boyfriend. It's like, and Chucky has to like get used to all this stuff.
Oh boy.
But there's been so much through the Chucky. Like there he is.
I see. Are they on the red carpet there? Or
I feel like I like that because that.
I think they're getting their Hollywood star.
If you've seen if you've seen these movies, she's very empowered. Like, so it's a horror movie, but look at her right there. Yeah, she's dancing, and she doesn't die because she's part of the evil, but the power. Mm-hmm. I suggest, like, if you're not into horror movies, but you want to see some women empowerment horror movie, see one with Jennifer Tilly. Yeah, I didn't even see the name here. I just remembered it, seeing her right now. Cause maybe I need new glasses.
I look like her. Jennifer Tilly.
With a different.
Maybe when she's a blonde.
Maybe.
No, I'm just really. Photoshopping you mentally, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So, what's the importance of herbal medicine research in our daily life?
What's the importance of herbal medicine research? I guess it depends on sort of like what camp you're in with
there's all different camps, huh?
Well, with Western medicine, and then there's Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine. And it's interesting what's constituted as research, because we all know that research can be what's that?
Go for it. What do you think? That's
awesome. I love that? Parasite eradication is important and powerful.
It is.
Yeah, it's really great. Important. Yeah. I was just saying, depends on what's constituted as research, really, because we have a lot of folk medicine, and I'm really into a lot of folk medicine, a lot of knowledge that is passed down through, books and... well, even just in the family, you know what I mean? Like people passing down knowledge, or even like that you can go into meditation, and in meditation you can have, you can commune with plants, and you can actually, this is what Aboriginals know, so I'm into a lot of knowledge that is really from, it's sort of like Aboriginal knowledge, and that we should be following the footsteps of Aboriginal people in the way that they stayed close with the land, and they kept their relationships close with all of the beings, all of the plants, all of the animals, because that's our birthright, and we can understand what many plants are for just by having a respectful and devotional relationship with the natural world.
That's why life, to me, I'm not too much in that world you're talking about. So, I don't think so. My first thought is that's why I love Hawaiian people.
Yeah.
Because they just that's the only place I really see it. I don't know about out here. That's where I see it, where they just no matter what happens out there, that's what I love. That they have the love for the earth.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah,
the land.
Sure.
Animals.
Yeah.
Everything that's on the land, they have a love for.
Yeah, I think the idea is that there are laws of nature that the Aboriginal Americans and also, Aboriginals and other continents were always well aware that there are certain laws in nature that once we start stepping outside of, there's a guaranteed disease and suffering that we're all going to experience, because we've gone so far outside of, the way that we're using resources I mean, I would just say that it's like, why do we shit in the ocean? Well, because we think the ocean is separate. And so really it's like the greatest source of our suffering is that we think that everything outside of us is separate than us, and nothing is separate. Right? And when we perpetuate things on another, and I don't say that like I'm perfected in my behaviors, but it's really the same concept with our resources in nature and how far we've gone outside of living outside of the laws of nature that would and allow us to still be living in a sustainable, renewable way. Like there have been a lot of intelligent men throughout history who wanted to perpetuate these types of ways of living, like Buckminster Fuller and Tesla and all of these people who are aware of how can we use our resources and still be respectful and all the Aboriginal knowledge. And how can we be respectful and still be in alignment with being in love and devotion and respect to the things that nourish us. And so we've gone so far outside of that because there are other agendas from other criminal syndicate bodies of powerful people here on this planet who who don't because
nothing is really protected. I mean, because I know from going to Hawaii things are protected.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get fines just for disrespecting the land or certain areas. Oh, here you get fines for just certain. It's just laws that seem more not for the land, just for more
just
selfish wanting to make money ways.
Yeah, no doubt. Agree. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if I answered your question really, but
no, it's more about vibing.
I answered
on things,
another question, so.
yeah, we just vibing on it. Yeah. I feel that. Yeah, no, but it does irritate me when people disrespect the land. Well, yeah, out here in California, I do seem like we just plow things down. Mm-hmm. You mean there's space here? Oh, we need a 20,000 story building here. Like, oh man, well, I do feel bad when I see animals roaming around. All right, we're about to, because it's like they had a place. So if you could only have five herbs growing on your backyard, what would they be?
Oh wow. Let's see. I'm really a fan of dandelion. Is one of my favorite.
Okay.
Dandelion, mugwort, mullein, echinacea.
Okay, I know about that. Echinacea is good for skin.
What else? What would be my fifth herb? Cannabis.
Yeah, I don't know when I.
That absolutely.
When I
no question. Yeah.
When I first talked about you, people were saying, another weed girl. Oh, well, actually, okay, that's my mom. She thinks you're into the weed. I like saying the before I say things.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown cannabis. It is an extraordinary medicinal plant, and it's got so many powerful properties for cancer. Destroying cancer and anxiety, especially like I really love it for the trauma work with veterans and stuff. And it's just fascinating how they're able to really isolate like different types of cannabis, how with different levels of like PTSD and trauma and stuff, how they're really able to figure out really specific strains or grow really specific strains that are saving people's lives in that regard. I mean, cannabis is it's an incredible plant, and also I feel like sometimes people it might be better if they weren't like smoking so hard, but maybe like just consuming tinctures. And I personally, I like
she
making.
She knows what she's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to make extracts with it for balms for the body and stuff. Yeah.
Gotta have you come back on here and bring some stuff.
Yeah.
Do that. There are people that shouldn't be doing the cannabis, or maybe seeing someone how to do it better. Because I've realized these days, there are people that, because I thought cannabis, well, it can't kill you, so what's the big deal? But then I have some people, geez, they seem just like the people on the other drugs. Like,
I know.
Okay, you need to stop.
Yeah.
I'm only smoking weed. I'm like, damn. Okay, well I guess I realized people need to stop doing that stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I think it's like anything. I mean, it's like sugar. It's like I love sugar, but I can't my mouth loves the sugar, right? The biome in the mouth. It's like you train yourself to start having that, and then you crave it. But you have to have control, or you're going to have other devastating consequences. The same is true of anything that we want to take too much. I mean, I think the thing I had to study a little about cannabis. There was a man who was a great healer in Tiburon named John Minnie, and he made a product called Balance the Herb, because he was saying, if you're going to be taking cannabis every single day, a lot of people get marijuana syndromes from that, because you can't. I mean, it's like you're loading the brain with THC, and some people don't methylate it in a way that actually allows them to still be super functional. And so my understanding was that it affects the kidneys where the jing is, which is the original life force energy. And so it can make you lose your will force. So a lot of people who take too much cannabis become like a slob, right? Like the word marijuana, right?
Well, yeah, they just kind of get the
like, because initially you take cannabis and it's like, whoa, this is just like, you feel like you're with the gods, you feel like you're with the angels, right? And
I never broke it down like that.
That's the medicine, right? But then you take too much, and then you just turn into a slob, because you lose your will force.
There's that whole
out of balance
head thing where he's just a pothead.
Yeah.
And that means someone that's just they just all day doing nothing, just.
It's easy to, I mean, it's understandable.
Really?
Because
like Paul? I had no idea.
But look at you, you're running something and you're still.
Well, no, that's.
Yeah, but a lot of people, the way they metabolize the cannabis, they can become highly creative and highly energetic. So everybody metabolizes it different, because I know many people who metabolize marijuana in a way that they're very focused and productive and energetic. I don't know that that's the majority.
But are those people going, smoke some weed, or I don't know. I don't really brag about doing stuff. So, I mean, maybe, like I said, in my 20s, I was like, I'm going to get drunk. Maybe if I was smoking weed back then, I'd be like, I'm a pothead. I think, So those kind of people that we were just talking about, they're not the people going, I'm a pothead, bro, or something like that.
They're creative. They're writing. They're writing. They're making music. They're DJs.
They might love their weed, but
things.
They're not getting. They're not acting stupid about it. But I keep going with it, Paul, because I just want that way. Maybe if something happens, I can say it's not my fault. Not my fault.
Plausible deniability.
He's a pothead. Not my fault. His guy was doing the weeds again.
Doing the weeds.
I do think it's interesting if you look at like a lot of people who smoke herb, how there's, like stereotypically they're just more easygoing, but it's like, I don't know, it's just like there's a different, just a totally different vibe a lot of times, where there's more easy connection or relatability sometimes, I think, I mean, I suppose you could tie that in with just culturally, like music and people who are wanting to have more connection with one another. There's a lot of like really uptight people out there in the world, but I find a lot of people who are cannabis users tend to be a lot more open-minded. Which is that's an interesting. Is it the individual who's drawn to the plant, or is it the plant that also? Because there's a lot of people, I think, with cannabis. See, some people think that it shuts you down to your sensation, and I actually think the opposite. It actually magnifies and explodes what your sensation is internally. So it can magnify your anxiety. When you're having anxiety, I'm like, I already had that anxiety. It's just that now I have a magnifying glass on it. So it's another way that it could be a tremendous medicine that people, I hardly ever hear people talk about this, how they say, oh, people are taking marijuana just to shut their emotions down. Some people cannot ever shut their emotions down. And marijuana it's like a way to examine things.
It mellows it,
and,
right?
And
so you still got the emotion, but it's like not so wild. It's like if you're getting all wild and someone says, shh.
Well,
calm down,
it's just
and
like
it's
like a little shamanic journey because it shows you layers and parts of yourself that you're trying to avoid. Well, to me, cannabis does not allow you to avoid that. That's not the way it works on
when you think about it, a lot of people talk about certain drugs and alcohol as an escape from reality.
Yeah.
And sometimes people that are smoking marijuana are trying to get in touch with that reality.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily trying to avoid it. Like you said, some of the more creative voices in our time have used that as
very much so
as a way of shamanistic way of finding their way.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing is that to me, and again, this is Aboriginal wisdom, is that plants have a consciousness, and when you come to a plant with love and devotion, curiosity and respect, you most certainly are going to you're going to be making a friend, you know? And so there's so much richness available for using cannabis in that way, and other plants too, and trees and animals. It's just a matter of coming with love, attention, curiosity, and respect. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of really like myopic thinking about cannabis, and it's frankly, it's sort of ridiculous.
I'm a hugger. Well, no. I mean, I have certain times. I'm just thinking of certain times. I've been a hugger.
Yeah.
And then also certain times
awesome.
Things will be a little further away. Like, whoa, that kind of thing. I mean, it depends what kind of edibles I'm on. So, what is holistic health? That's what you. That's what you'd be doing. The holistic.
So holistic health is an acknowledgement that as a being here that we have, we're more than our body. You know, we have consciousness and awareness, our spirit, our soul, and that to create balance and wellness in all of those realms, you know, requires that we don't just look at as a vitality coach, if I'm working with somebody, it's like a piece of pie, right? There's all these different points that have to be examined and addressed and touched in with to see, like, oh, well, okay, so like you've got your diet down, but you're still like extremely miserable and you still have severe anxiety, or you have an eating disorder, or you're, right? So all of these experiences and behaviors require finding other tools and other knowledge to bring us into balance.
It's pretty effective, huh?
Yeah, so I work with a lot of, I study nature connection with Tom Brown Jr., and he was trained by an Apache shaman, and this is why I always go back to like the Aboriginal knowledge, is because if we could stay closer to Aboriginal practices and knowledge, you know, we want to stay close to the land. We want to be touching. We want to be touching the earth. We want to be gardening. We want to be growing plants. We want to be communing with animals and nature. This is a really fundamental piece of our wellness. And then the other fundamental piece is our connection with other people. It's like people need intimacy. We need intimacy with friends.
Yes. And so,
yes,
okay.
So do I use muscle testing?
And that's what I think that's what we're saying you look like there.
Oh, I was thinking you look like Julie Bowen.
Yeah, she's got the little almond eyes, kind of like I have small eyes. Yeah. So I think muscle testing is a really incredible technique. I've learned it, but many, many years ago, I learned it from a holistic kinesiologist, and it's just something so profound, right? That if you introduce the field of energy of one thing into the field of energy of your body, and if you ask your body, like, you know, is this a yes or a no? It's just incredible to see how the body, without I was going to say without the mind, but really the mind is in every cell of the body. Like the body has its own profound intelligence. And the muscle testing, I know there's a lot of like advanced types of muscle testing. I don't use it, but I would love to integrate it because I think it's a simple technique, even though I know there's some sophisticated forms of it, but I think it's very powerful.
Is it kinesiology?
Holistic kinesiology.
So I knew a kinesiologist.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know. God bless you. And so I noticed that I went through some muscle testing, and then they turned around and went to their shelves and said, wait, hold on to this, hold on to that.
That's right.
And then finally it was like, third thing in, it was like, I knew it. And it was that. And it was bee pollen.
Interesting. Oh, that's exceptional for your adrenal glands. Bee pollen, cordyceps, and white American ginseng for your adrenal glands to regenerate your adrenal glands. I work with a company called Purium, which makes the most powerful superfoods on the planet, and was created by a man who was really in earnest seeking, like, how do we heal this planet? Like, how do we heal this crisis that we're in with the way that they've like devastated the soil and the farm and the way that affects us, because then we're not getting the nutrients. So anyway, he has all these amazing protocols, and bee pollen is bee pollen is a really profound medicine. Yeah, especially for the adrenal glands. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we had a pretty good conversation, huh? Mm-hmm. And that's you enjoy yourself?
Absolutely.
It's
really
amazing. So people at my work, I guess I do get people listening. Like customers come up. Were you tuning in, Paul, to what was being said last week?
Yeah.
And you were tuned into this time. So I don't know. People have come up to me at work and said, I listened to your show. I'm like, really? Wow, thanks. And they said, why do you hate me? And so does it sound like did it sound like I
hated on anyone?
I don't think you hated on anyone.
I didn't get that.
I mean, they felt like it wasn't a coworker. Customers come up to me, and maybe I did. So I didn't say anything today. Huh?
No, not even during the Spin the Altar Boy segment. So
right.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I knew what you were referring to.
I mean, I'm not a fan of my job, but I don't think I say a lot of times, it's not really the customers. It's more like the atmosphere and how I feel like I've sunk in life. You get that, you could get that customer that makes it up for all the good ones in the day, though. But I don't know. I don't think I hate the customers.
Maybe, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I don't hate. In fact, if you see me at the register, let's have a good time. Come up to me. You heard the show. It's good. People are listening for my work. Let's have a good time. Come up to my register. Maybe bring a drink. Let's have a drink together. Let's have a good time. Tell me a joke. I'll try to laugh. Tell me about your maybe your wounds. Your something you had to get lotion for. Let's do it. Tell me about your kids and your wife, and I'll probably say the usual. Oh man, why'd you want kids? I say the same thing to my mom. So I don't know. I don't really understand why people want kids, but I give the leeway. It's interesting. It's interesting to hear why people want kids. So I like to. Tell me about why you wanted that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tell everyone where to find you in last words, and maybe answer a last question we had here was how can someone holistic wise how can someone lose weight, and our hair products, holistic hair products, 100% real, and who cares about the rest? And then wrap things up here with last words for you.
Yeah, okay, so how can somebody lose weight with holistic health?
Yeah,
well, I would just say, so I focus on whole foods nutrition. So essentially, I eat tons of fruit. I'm really into fruit, and there's a lot of different camps. There's the keto camp, and they're into protein and fats, and I don't follow really that camp, but I think that if people feel like if they feel like they need to eat protein, that they should stay on the lighter side and not try to take too much fat, because you don't want to burden the liver in that way, because the liver has to clean your blood at night, and it's where you take the burden of viruses, heavy metals, parasites, and we're all getting loaded with that, right? You know, if you drink coffee and alcohol, and you know, the liver is like the king organ of the whole body, so you don't want to burden the liver with loads of fats, unnatural fats. Natural fats like avocados and nuts, like like walnuts and like pecans and stuff, and smaller quantities. So I'm really into fruits and vegetables and like lean meat, and that sounds like, you know, most people know that, but really I really try to practice that so that the majority of the time I will be having that, right? And then there'll be little moments when I have little indulgences, when I want something a little bit more rich. But for the most part, I just try to eat really clean. I significantly reduce fats, because I don't think that the keto thing is, I don't think it's that sustainable. I think it causes problems in the kidneys and kidney and livers, and there's some people who really believe that the fats cause you to actually spike a lot of adrenaline in the body to break the fats down, and this is something a lot of people aren't aware of, and so they think they're getting energy from eating keto, but actually they're having energy because they're depleting their adrenal glands. So I know there's so many different, everybody has a different biotype, and so the main emphasis with losing weight holistic wise is eat a lot of vegetables and fruit, and try to remove refined grains and refined sugar and bad oils. And if you're eating meat, try to get the highest quality meat, like organic, grass-fed, and just stay the inflammatory stuff, like the stuff that's loaded with glyphosate. Organic. I mean, I've been eating organic for 20 years because everything's loaded with glyphosate, which was designed to destroy the intestines of insects, right? Well, guess what? Now that's all over all food. Guess what it's doing to our intestines? It's doing the same thing.
It's kind of like the plastic poisoning. It's going to get into us one way or another.
Exactly. It's in the fish now. All the nanoplastic, it's loaded in the fish.
And then something else you mentioned is that in our body, isn't really the liver and the kidneys doing all the heavy lifting?
That's right.
If we think about it, from everything from our diets to our medicines to alcohol to you name it, it's being filtered through those things.
That's right. Yeah, and then the skin is like the third kidney. So if something is coming out through the skin, that means that those other two eliminative pathways
have maxed out.
Exactly. And you see it a lot, you know, because the way we live now, it's just, we're so enervated and we're stressed, and the cost of living. And then there's like copper pipes, and there's always like heavy metal contamination.
Well, it's almost like in the words of Jim Morrison, no one gets out of here alive at that point. So.
Yeah. Totally. So, you know, I mean, I think it really just comes down to like, how much are you suffering? And my own personal story is I suffered a lot, and I suffered so greatly that I really had to give up a lot of things that I was really addicted to. And because I had what I would say I was very much a food addict, and I finally let go of a lot of things because I was in so much pain.
You nearly died for our sins.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime any of us has an achievement, we're doing it for everybody, because we're figuring out the discipline, and we're figuring out how to have devotion, because it affects everyone.
And everybody's so different.
Everybody's so different, but we're all also so the same.
Right.
You know? Yeah, we're all having the same experience to greater or lesser degree at one point or another. You know, whether it's this lifetime or another lifetime, we're all having the same experience.
Now, how do we keep up with everything Lorelei De Witte?
Okay.
So,
I mean, everything.
Yeah, so let's see. Well, I have a website that I just launched for an apothecary, which is www.lefae-apothecary, Lefae apothecary, APOTHECARY, lefaeapothecary.com, and that's where I sell some of my organic, high-quality organic botanicals. And then you can find me on Facebook, Lorelei De Witte, on my Vitality Coaching page. I have an Instagram page called Full Spectrum Vitality. which is just FULLSPECTRUM, and then Vitality, VITALITY. I don't do tons and tons of posting, but I'm getting more into that whole movement too, right, of connecting with people that way. Yes, so those are the ways that you can reach me, and I think that's it. I mean, unless I give my phone number, but that's
later.
Yeah, that's later. Yeah. So
that would be a good way to find out how much people tuned in, though.
Yeah. If you get calls in the middle of the night, yeah.
They'd have to go back. All right, make sure I got the after the area code there.
Yeah.
Very interesting conversation.
Thank you.
I'm glad I was a fly on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. I really love these type of dynamics because I've heard before that really we need other people to become a genius, like where our genius is brought out by being around others, right? Because we inspire one another and we remind one another of things that we struggle with or things that we've forgotten, and so it's really delightful to sit here and have this experience to have a round table.
Yeah. Absolutely, and thank you for letting me hang out, Luke. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's great. You weren't forced. So tune in next Monday. Just take my advice to stay away from that emo music. It's probably not good for you. And if this gets me more promo for emo bands, hey, My Chemical Romance, I will fight you. That's what you're supposed to like. And if anyone let's meet at a taco truck sometime. All right,
because that's healthy. That's healthy, right?
Those are my last. Yeah.
There's probably some healthy tacos out there.
There is probably some healthy tacos.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, Luke.
All right.
Thank you, Luke.
Yeah, next week.
It's really fun.
Do you know what's going to be happening next week, Luke? By any chance?
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe he's not going to let us know.
But there'll be a show.
Okay, I'm going to play some Halloween music underneath you.
Cool.
And then we'll be going. Thanks for hanging out, folks.
And people, don't ask me for money. Don't ask me for money. Don't do it.
All right, you guys. That has been What's Really Happening with Luke Walgreens, and it's episode 10, season 1. And if you're listening to us on edgestudiosonline.com, we'll get you back to regular programming. Wow, I can't even talk.